What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the 8-game NBA slate for tonight, starting at 7 o'clock. So let's get started. As always, appreciate if you guys hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow on Twitter for updates throughout the day. And we have a lot to talk about because there's a few teams on this slate that have a lot of players out tonight due to COVID. We saw that happen this weekend with the Sixers playing 7 guys, and then with the Mavs on, I think, Saturday. So we'll get more of that this week because a lot of those players have to quarantine for 7 days. So that's going to open up a ton of value. And two teams we're talking about, the Sixers and the Dallas Mavericks. And then maybe we'll see another team or two happen to be in that same boat if something happens this week or like today, this afternoon. But going game by game here, start the first game. You have the Knicks against the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball. Hopefully, you guys got some bets in him to win Rookie of the Year. He was the pick going into the season, and well, for me personally, and he's looking like he's going to run away with it after his last couple performances. Almost a triple double against the Pelicans, and then had a triple double against the Hawks. Put up 61 DraftKings points. He was just amazing out there. He is just and he's only doing this playing 30 minutes, like 31 minutes. It's not like he's playing 35, 36. He's getting it done in like last game he averaged 2 DraftKings points per minute against the Hawks. That is just crazy stuff for a rookie. Against the Knicks, who have a good defense this season, price tag is up to 7,000. But the way he's playing, the way that they're giving him minutes, I think he is still worth it because he's not just going to come out there and shoot like Rozier or Graham. He's going to come out and get all the peripherals, shoot, just have so much usage. So he's a pretty safe play in terms of a floor now that he's getting consistent minutes. I'm not interested really in Rozier at 65. I'd rather go to Ball. And Graham has just been so bad shooting. It's really tough to watch if you roster him. Watching him shoot 25% from the floor, 30% from three. Just not somebody I feel confident in right now. His shot is just not there. RJ Barrett is 71. I'm not that interested in that price tag. I think you can probably look to like power forward Julius Randle. He's 96, but his minutes have just been through the roof. He's getting it done almost every game. Last 2 games ago against OKC, he only played 10 minutes in the first half due to foul trouble, but then he came out in the second half and played 21 minutes. Just a guy that's super consistent in getting minutes, and like he is super expensive, but Tibbs is just running him into the ground. That if you give him 40 minutes a night, he's probably gonna hit you value because he's a good rebounder. He's been great with the assist, and his usage rate is the highest it's been. So Randall, 96, not my favorite spend up, but he is in play. And then center-wise, you have Mitchell Robinson, who looks fine at 55. Just playing a lot of minutes. Noel hasn't really given them anything off the bench, so Robinson 55 isn't the worst play. Washington had a big game last time, 6,400. He tends to be in foul trouble a lot, so he's not like a safe play that you feel good about, but he does have that upside. And that's pretty much it for the first game. There's nobody else that I think is worth mentioning. Second game, we have the Cavs and the Grizzlies. The Cavs, see if they get Colin Sexton back tonight. They need some offense. They have been playing without Sexton, Garland the last few games, and those have just been the guys that have been carrying them. Now you're seeing like Dotson be the point guard. He was okay in last game, but he's priced to 4,900 now. So if Sexton happens to miss, you can look to him, but there are some other cheaper like shooting guard options that look like in good spots tonight. So we'll see. Hopefully Sexton returns. I don't have to worry about that. And then you have Drummond at 92. He had that good game last time out, played 41 minutes, so his minutes are all over the place. If he's playing well, he looks like he's going to get the minutes. If he's not playing well, then he can get benched for McGee. But I think I'd rather go to Embiid tonight because the Sixers are super shorthanded. But yes, Drummond is in play against the Grizzlies in that front court with Valanciunas. And then, not that thrilled about having a ton of Cavs in here. Osman is 59. He's priced kind of where he should be. And then the Grizzlies, I just haven't been getting to them because their coach plays so many guys. And now that, like, Melton is back, now that Tyus Jones is playing good minutes, like Grayson Allen, they just have a lot of, like, wings that do play quite a bit. So you're not getting, like, 35, 36, 37 minutes like you will for some of these players tonight. Next game, you have the Bucks against the Magic. Another game that I'm not thrilled about targeting. The Orlando side, you have Cole Anthony priced at 56, so you're not getting a good bargain on him. And then they priced up the Bucks guys a bit. Like DiVincenzo's 54, Middleton is 82, Holiday is 69, but Giannis is probable, so he'll return, which makes those guys a lot less interesting. And then at center, like Vucevic at 89 looks okay, but then you have Gordon at 67. He's probably my favorite because you saw him kind of come off of his minutes limit last time, played 36, and they said he was going to see increased minutes in that game. So you would just assume that would be the case moving forward. And if you're getting 35 minutes out of Gordon, 35, 36, then he looks like a lot better of a play, and we'll take some production away from Vucevic and whoever else they have out there. Next game, you have the Suns and the Washington Wizards. The Wizards are going to be without Russell Westbrook tonight, and then poor Thomas Bryant tore his ACL in that last game. So you're going to see minutes for Wagner, who fouled out in just 20 minutes. So we were playing quite a bit of Wagner last year, but this year, we'll see. I think they'll probably still start like Robin Lopez, and then you'll see Wagner come off the bench, and then Pasicniks that hasn't really done anything. They could be, well, in this matchup against Dayton, they will probably start Lopez or Wagner in some other spots. Maybe they can start like Bertans at the 5 if they want to get some extra shooting out there. But the guy that you really want on the Wizards is going to be Bradley Beal. He's $9,900. He is going to be playing without Russell Westbrook, which just means he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more than he usually does. And he's a guy that has just been carrying them. They haven't been winning a lot this season. But the games that he's played well in, they have had a chance to win. And he's been playing his best basketball of the season the last couple of games. Had his 2 best performances. Was playing well at the end of January or in the beginning of January as well. I like Bradley Beal here. Suns are a good team. Should hopefully be a close game in Washington, but if they keep it close, it's going to be because Bradley Beal. Then on the Suns side, I don't have that much interest in Chris Paul or Devin Booker just because they take some usage away from each other. Bridges had that huge game last time out, made 6 threes, but he's also a guy that you can't rely on. But you can rely on his minutes, but you can't rely on him shooting 18 times and making 6 threes. Could look like Cam Johnson if you need a cheap play. He just played good minutes off the bench, super productive, and he's also a guy that will shoot off the bench and play like high 20s in minutes. So probably like him more than Crowder and more than Bridges. And that's kind of it. I don't think I'll touch Ayton tonight. Now, this game you're going to have a lot of interest in. You have the Sixers and the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are going to be without Bogdanovich, who had a fractured kneecap, which sounds extremely painful. So hopefully he makes a quick recovery. But on the Sixers side, you have a ton of viable options. They are super limited. But the first guy you're going to want is Joel Embiid. This is a spot for Embiid to go absolutely nuclear without Ben Simmons, without Tobias Harris, without Seth Curry. He's going to be the focal point. Everything's going to run through Embiid. It's against the Hawks, so it's against Clint Capella. He's not the worst defender, but like Embiid is just going to be able to have his way against that front court, hopefully, in terms of just being able to pound the paint, and also a guy that can step back and shoot some threes. On the season, he's making over 45% of his limited three-point shots, so Embiid is just in line for his best game of the season, and I definitely do not want to pass on Embiid when he's below 10,000 with all the extra usage that he will see tonight with all those other guys out. Tyrese Maxey, guy that you're going to want at point guard. He's $4,700. He played 43.5 minutes. The rookie looked amazing in the last game. The Sixers had 7 guys play because of all the COVID stuff, and they had Mike Scott active, but he was dealing with an injury, so he just sat on the bench as the 8th guy that they needed to be active. But really love Maxey here. He is just priced really nicely, and he's going to see huge minutes, like starting point guard / shooting guard, going to have the ball in his hands, and I don't think the price tag rose enough. He should be like high 5K range just with everybody else out tonight. And then still more Sixers that I like. You have Danny Green at 47. He's not like the most flashiest player, but he's gonna play a lot. He only made 4 of 17 shots, so definitely has some room for improvement tonight. Gonna have a ton more open looks a ton more shot attempts without Harris out there, without Curry. So he looks fine, but I'd rather go to Maxey at the same price tag. And then I think you can look to Isaiah Joe at 4,100. He also started at like shooting guard, and they basically started Maxey and Joe in the backcourt. Shot 18 times, only made 4 of them, but he played 45 minutes. He's gonna have to play a lot again tonight. I'll probably see high 30s, maybe low 40s for him. Sixers will have 8 guys probably play tonight with Embiid back, and he's not the best shooter as he saw, but he can be productive when he's out there. And 41 for a guy that's gonna play just so many minutes is definitely like fine for me to pay up for or like pay that price tag for. And then on the Atlanta side, I think you can look to without Bogdanovich, it's gonna mean more secure minutes off the bench for like Cam Reddish, who's 5,100, and then you have DeAndre Hunter, who's been a lot more reliable at $6,200, playing good minutes. Probably see like consistent minutes moving forward with all the injuries. So if you want to get a piece of the Hawks, I think Hunter looks like a fine option. And then moving on, another game that we're gonna have some interest in, just with all the injuries. We have Luka at 11-3, looks like a perfectly fine spend up option. You have Trey Burke at 45, who only played 21 minutes off the bench, but was one of the best value plays. And he looks like another guy that should be a fine option tonight. Cheap play off the bench. I think Burke is a guy that I'll have some interest in. Tim Hardaway played 40 minutes, was solid out there, 47 DraftKings points. Price tag is 67, but he's going to play a ton of minutes, and definitely think he looks like a fine option as well tonight. Maybe I'll go ahead and, instead of Hunter, I'll go ahead and plug in Hardaway, just because Hardaway's probably see 40 minutes tonight with everybody out. And then Kleber did play last game, but he's questionable because he tested positive, and there's some uncertainty as I see here. But if he tests positive again, then he's going to be out. And then it's going to be even more minutes for like Hardaway. You'll see more for Burke off the bench. And then you'll probably see James Johnson start at 41. He'd be a nice option. So a lot to like in the Philly and Dallas games. That's going to be where I have my most interest in tonight. And then you have Toronto and Portland. Two teams that I don't have a ton of interest in because the price tags are kind of where they should be. 97 for Lillard, 88 for McCollum. I go Lillard, but I think there's better spend ups. Like Beal at 99 looks better than Lillard tonight. You have Luka, you have Embiid. So a game that I won't have a ton of interest in right now. And then the same thing with the last game, unless we have some injuries. The Pacers and the Kings. Fox looks fine at 79, but there's just some better spend ups, and see if he is a full go with his injury. Buddy Hield, is he questionable? He is questionable. If he's out, then you can look to Halliburton, the rookie, playing great minutes and playing great for the Kings this season. He would be a nice option, even though he is priced up at 62. And that's kind of it. Like Bagley just not been closing for the team, so it's tough to feel good about him because they do happen to get an overtime game. It's not like Bagley's going to be out there because he doesn't even close. But maybe he'll close in this one with that big front court with the Sabonis and Turner. But really, I think today you're going to want to have your most interest in the Philly game and the Dallas game. So that's it for the DraftKings side. Let's jump over to FanDuel. All right, on FanDuel here, point guard, we have Luka at 11.5. He looks like a fine spend up, 11.2 on DraftKings, 11.5 on FanDuel. It's a little bit easier to get to him on FanDuel, but make your case on DraftKings as well. You have some other guys to look at, like LaMelo Ball, 74. De'Aaron Fox looks really nicely priced at 73. If we get word that he's not going to be limited with his injury, like I definitely jump on that price tag. And then you have the Sixers value. You have Trey Burke. You have Raul Neto / Ish Smith. You have Cole Anthony at only 45. So you got plenty of cheap options. You have Isaiah Joe as well. I'll probably go cheap here at point guard with actually I'll probably plug in Trey Burke. I think he looks a little bit better at 45. Shooting guards, you have Bradley Beal, who I will definitely make a case to spend up for. You have like Tyrese Halliburton. If Buddy Hield misses at 54, you have Tyrese Maxey. Two Tyreses, both look solid tonight. I lean to Maxey at 52. And pretty much it at this position. Like I'll probably go down to at least one of the cheap 5K options and then spend up for like a Bradley Beal. Small forwards, we have Deandre Hunter is priced at 63. Definitely a higher price tag than you would expect, but he's been playing great basketball, so he looks solid, especially with the Bogdanovic injury. But tough to get away from Tim Hardaway at 58, playing like 40 minutes with all the injuries. Just a really safe play, a guy that's going to shoot when he's out there. You can look to Rui at 49. You can look to Danny Green at 48. They all look solid. Cam Reddish at only 45, like he looks fine as well. At power forward, we have Julius Randle, Sabonis, two spend-up options. You also have Giannis in there. He's always a spend-up option, but Randle / Sabonis both look solid. I think Randle, his minute, well, actually both guys playing huge minutes. Maybe you just want to spend up for both of them and go cheap elsewhere. But you do have some cheaper options at this position. Like you have Aaron Gordon at 66, played 36 minutes last game, so that looks good for him. You also have like Bertans at 46. You'll see more minutes with all the injuries in the front court. Well, with Thomas Bryant injury. James Johnson, if Kleber happens to miss, he looked solid at 42. And then you have Mike Scott, min-priced, 3,500. He hasn't played a ton this season. He's dealing with a little bit of an injury, but they said he's probable and they need all the help they can get. So he definitely is a viable option. I think I'll probably at least have one of Randle or Sabonis. Whoever I can fit in my lineup, I think Randle looks a little bit better just with the matchup and the fact that he's going to play like 42 minutes. And then at center, you have Drummond at 99, but Embiid is the play tonight at 97. I feel great about Embiid against the Hawks with all the injuries. Should play good minutes and can't wait to see his usage tonight because it should be through the roof. So definitely will spend up for Embiid tonight on Fanduel. I don't think you have to. If you wanted to look elsewhere, you have Capella / Nurkic, two guys in the 6K range that have some upside. And that's kind of it. Like maybe you can look to like a Lopez or Wagner, but kind of just well, Lopez is mid-price, so maybe you can make a case for him. But that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching and best of luck.